Hello everybody, this is my first time live as a Trigeminal Neuralgia sufferer, and I'm hoping to share a little bit of thoughts and things with you this afternoon. It's in the afternoon in the UK, it could be somewhere else some other time where you are, but I thought it'd be good to have a question and answer session. So if people come on to ask questions, great. If they don't, it might be a really short live. But suffice to say that living with trigeminal neuralgia does pose lots of different problems and issues. One, it's not very well known. So if you come on a live and you have another hidden disability, that's absolutely fine. It's not very well known about. People don't know what it is. That's the first problem. And another problem with it is also the kind of pain relief that you decide to go for, whether it's going to be medication prescribed or other methods. That's the other problem with it. And just generally getting into life in a different way. So if you were very active before, then it might be that you're not going to be able to be as active. And so you've got to kind of develop new skills, and you might actually lose your confidence socially as well. So there's lots of things around trigeminal. For those of you who don't know anything about it, it is a facial pain problem with the nerve that goes kind of from here all the way down here and further. So the pain can be anywhere around your face, around your ear, around your temple. So it's very debilitating, especially when you have a major flare up. You can't really do anything. And so it does really affect your life. Okay, so that's where we are with it. So I am just going to hang around and see if people come on. It's a small channel, so I'm not necessarily expecting anybody to come on, seeing as I've given them 10 minutes notice, but we'll see. If people come on and ask some questions, I'll hang about. If not, I can always do another live, which I plan a bit better, because I've been thinking about doing a trigeminal neuralgia live for a long time, but it's quite a small channel. So normally, you need enough followers to have a live where people actually interact with you. But if anybody wants to come on and ask me questions, I'm here to answer them. However, I'm not medical, so I can't answer any medical questions. If you have a hidden pain disability and it's not trigeminal neuralgia, please feel free to ask any questions. Sorry, not answer them. Feel free to ask any questions and chat to each other in the chat as well. I thought doing a live would be quite comforting to some people to have that community. So that's what I'm hoping to achieve with the lives, is to build up a community. So when we go live, we can get together. When I do have another channel, when I do a live, I talk about a subject. But with trigeminal neuralgia, it's just talking about living with it. So it's not so much a subject, it's more sharing and people asking me questions and then chatting in the chat and introducing themselves. So if you are here today now in the live and you want to introduce yourself, if you don't have trigeminal neuralgia, that's fine. You can just introduce yourself. If you have another hidden pain disability, chronic pain disability, feel free to put that in the chat as well, because there are many other conditions as well as trigeminal that are not discussed much, are not known much about, and so you're more than welcome to be part of that discussion as well. So, but if you have it, and you have it, also introduce yourself and fire away, ask some questions, or just introduce yourself in the chat. So yeah, over to you guys. Over to you guys. Let me know if you're here, and we can chat together. And probably next time I will plan it more so that we'll get more people here and they know when I'm going to do it. But if you have trigeminal neuralgia, you know that that's not always possible. Like, you might want to plan, but if you have a really bad day, then you can't plan to do anything. So I don't like to let people down. So sometimes it's easier for me to go, okay, I'm just going to go live now. I'm just going to do it. And then just get on and do it. Yeah. So do let me know if you're here. Let me know if you struggle with any pain condition. Let me know if you have trigeminal neuralgia. Let me know if you're on the way to being diagnosed for it. Hi, Nancy. Hi, I was diagnosed about a month ago. I've watched a lot of your videos, but I haven't seen this. Have you ever considered surgery? So yeah, this is my first live, my very first live. Sorry, the opposite way around on the camera. It's very funny. This is my first live, so I've not done a live before. And I've actually just published a video, by the way. So after the live, have a little check. There's another video that's just gone out. So I haven't considered surgery because once I got started on the medication and sort of had the hit from that, and then it reduced, the pain levels reduced significantly. They wouldn't even consider me at that point to go forward to a neurologist. So I don't know where you are in the world, but I'm in the UK. We had such a fallout from COVID, from waiting lists and stuff like that, that because they considered my pain was under control, they didn't even put me to a neurologist, let alone think about surgery. So you're in the US, yes, it could be different, Nancy, for you. I mean, I don't know, I guess you'll be paying for stuff, but where we are in the UK, it's kind of like, it's brilliant that we have the NHS, don't get me wrong, but what you get served and what you get given is what you get served and what you get given. So when the carbamazepine started to kick in, after about, I'm going to say probably about a year, if I'm honest, things started to stabilize a lot more. I noticed I was going a lot longer without pain. I wasn't pain free. I'm still not pain free, but it would never have been enough in the UK for them to sort of consider that you would go and have surgery. You'd have to be in a pretty bad way, I mean, really bad way, to then get on waiting lists, go and have things done, if that makes sense. So I've managed to have a quality of life that I think I'm pretty happy with. I think the biggest problem is the effect of the medication on slowing me down and sort of brain fog and that type of thing. So that's the answer. So how are you getting on? Are you in a lot of pain every day? You sort of, what levels of pain are you in? And are you sort of on a pathway to being looked at for surgery? So again, I don't know how it would work in your country. It's going to be pretty different, I would imagine. Let me know. If there's anybody else in the chat, just want to introduce yourself. Don't worry if you don't have trigeminal neuralgia. Don't worry if you think you have, but you don't know, because sometimes you might think you have and you haven't been diagnosed yet. It's fine. You know, just introduce yourself in the chat. You're obviously here because you're interested in hidden disability. You're extremely lucky. I've got a health plan. Great. My dentist immediately suggested that I see a neurologist. I could go right there without referral. That's amazing. That's what you need. So the dentist was on it like Sonic. I don't know if that's the same where you are. So your dentist knew immediately that there was something wrong. So they knew what pathway to put you on. Yes, that's what I'm on, Tegretol. I'm calling it carbamazepine, but Tegretol is also the name of it. And I find Tegretol for me I mean, to start with, it was horrendous going on it, but someone did say to me, just sort of stick with it and you might, you know, see a big change. And I did over time. So, yeah, that's it. That's what I'm on. It's a harsh drug, isn't it? It does have big effects and impacts on you. But for me, it did work gradually. It worked pretty much right away to just reduce the pain from being sky high to, you know, being able to get off the bed, if you know what I mean. But it could be that your neurologist can see the compressions, because when I had my MRI scan, they couldn't see one big nerve compression. So I don't even know whether I would be a candidate for surgery. Now, that's not saying that if I hadn't gone under a neurologist who is more experienced, that they may then know where they're looking. I don't know. But from what they know right now, I probably wouldn't be able to have surgery based on them not knowing where that compression is or whatever, what have you. Yes. Yes, exactly the same as you, that my pain subsided. I mean, I was still in pain, but it does subside immediately, but I hate it as well. I hate it as well. Okay. Okay, so you know. Okay, so you do have the option for surgery. It's a difficult decision. I mean, life on carbamazepine or Tegretol is not a happy thing, is it? I mean, you'll see in one of my videos that I'm bringing out, I think it's the one I've just released actually, that I talk about that grogginess that you have in the morning and how it slows you down and makes you into a different person. Um, but then brain surgery is also a massive decision, isn't it? I'm sure they do it often, but that's also massive. So yeah, chat and see what they say. They may say to you, you're an ideal candidate for surgery, and they might give you the confidence to move ahead with it. Because other than that, this is only my experience, but my experience is I don't think I could come off with a carbamazepine. I think a lot of the other drugs would be similar. I did think about coming off of it, but I still get the odd flare up. And so I wouldn't be comfortable coming off of it. I don't want to go back to those pain levels. And I don't want to start that medication again. I think that's more it. If I come off of it and I'm off of it a while, but then it flares back up again, I don't want to have to go through the process of starting it again. Because I think once you're on it and your body's adjusted, after a good few months, you're in a better place than when you first start. Um, yes, I was always a morning person until, yeah, that's it. And also sometimes because I'm not in pain as much, like I will get the odd flare up during a week, but it's not at the levels. I forget sometimes that I am a TN sufferer. And then I'm like, why am I so tired today? I just want to go and sleep. And it is partly because of that. It's partly because of other things that I'm on, but it's partly because of that medication. And I'm sure that's a big factor into me struggling to get out of bed in the morning. So it's kind of reassuring to see that you have that, because I sometimes forget that it's around that. But good luck for Friday. Good luck. It's great. I mean, you've had a very fast track pathway. I talk to a lot of people that come on the channel and they're just struggling to get heard. They're going from one person to another, backwards and forwards to the dentist. Some people have loads of teeth removed and they didn't need to. So it looks to me like your dentist was really on it there. Hello, Elias. How are you? You're happy for me. That's good. You're happy for me. You're happy for me because I am in a better place. Yes. Yes, thanks. I realised once I started to watch videos that I was extremely lucky. I mean, as lucky as someone can be who has TN, um, you know, but I think from the point of view that it's been spotted. Um, yeah, exactly. Because if you like me, when you suddenly realise what you've got and you look at all the videos, this is the thing. There's a lot. I don't think it's scaremongering. I mean, it is what it is. But every video you watch is about people in extreme dire situations and pain and everything. But actually, as time goes on, you realise that there are routes to help you. You might still have it, but there's surgery options, there's medication options. It's there are ways to improve life, and I think when you first get it, you can't see that at all. So yeah, yes, I think you might be the only one on here at the moment, Nancy, but that's my own fault because I didn't want to program in that I was going to go live and then let people down, because you don't always feel that you can do it. And also I'm in the UK, so you guys, some of you are only just getting up now. And it's quite early for a lot of people. And for me, like in an hour, the kids come home, and we have a parents' evening as well. So like I'm like, oh, try and fit it in. Um, you were disturbed, and then he diagnosed you. Yeah, it's amazing that he did, because I tell you what, you would have gone around in circles, go around in circles. I mean, mine really started, I do think mine started because of something happened in the dentistry world, because I had an embedded wisdom tooth that was sat down on the nerve, and they did warn me that it was very close to the nerve, but it was nothing I could do. I had to have that tooth out. So I do think that was the start of my problems, but most people get confused and think it's a dental problem, whereas it's not, you know. So yeah, trying to explain it to people is just impossible. They don't get it at all. And that's actually the latest video I've done, is they don't understand. I've got another example of another professional, nothing to do with TN, but just the things that she was saying. I think it just shows that she kind of has limited understanding. So yeah, I do wish you all the best on Friday. I really do. I bet you'll be nervous. I think when you go and see any professional about it, you're nervous. One, because you're in pain, and two, because you don't know what they're going to say. But you have the evidence of the compression, so you are potentially a surgery candidate. I should have thought, as much as I know, because I don't really know. But yeah, have you met anybody else with it, or you just find my videos? I haven't met anybody local with it, really, I think. And also, a lot of the channels are very sort of medical, aren't they? And very, I guess they're trying to sell their services a little bit. So when you're watching the videos, you're not quite sure what's going on there. True, the only folks who get it are those who have family members who have. Right, okay, yeah. Only friends with family members who've had TGN, yeah. 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 It's hard to live with because it does change who you are. I mean, this might be a reason for going for surgery if you're offered it, because you would hope when you that after surgery you would get back a quality of life, maybe not exactly the same as you had before, but maybe closer to what you had before. Whereas I think if you're on carbamazepine, you'll change as a person. That's what I think anyway. You could definitely changed. Is there anything else you want to ask me, Nancy, anyway? So I can't really, because I've never been offered surgery, I can't identify with how that would feel for you right now, if you might be offered that, how you feel about that. I mean, if you were offered it, how do you feel about that? Do you feel like you would want to go ahead with it? If you are in the chat, feel free to introduce yourself if you have TN or chronic pain condition, or you think you have TN. You would go for surgery. Yeah, you would go for surgery, I think. So yeah, well, it's brave, but yeah, I think if you've got the option to get your life back again, you've got to go for it, haven't you? I mean, I've had a few things wrong with me recently, and I've had surgery on different things. I'm like, I wouldn't look forward to it, but yes, yeah. And a lot of it depends on your general health and stuff like that as well, doesn't it? And if you were fairly fit beforehand and all of a sudden you have this, but you know there's a way out of it by surgery, then yeah, particularly if your neurosurgeon's experienced in that area. Again, in the UK, that would be hard to find. That would, we've got neurologists, but someone who's used to performing that surgery, I guess, would be quite hard to find. 59, and I feel like I've aged 10 years in the past 2 months. I can totally, completely understand what you're saying. It does ages you massively. It does age you massively. I mean, I gave up work anyway. I was running my own business, so I sold my business. Oh, well, that's brilliant if that's a speciality. Yeah, that's brilliant. I mean, you do have an option out of it. Yeah, if you feel like it's aged you 10 years, then there's no question, is there, that you would go for it. Can't remember what I was going to say now. I definitely feel like I have aged 10 years. I don't feel as energetic. I wasn't that energetic before, but it has drained me a lot. I don't have the energy levels. So if you're in the chat and you have TN, or you, what was I going to say? You have TN, you think you have it, you're on the pathway, you've got hidden, click my fingers, hidden disability, just put down in the chat, say hi. This is just questions and answers really, but I've been talking to Nancy. She's just had it for a month now. and she's due to go and see a neurologist soon who specialises in surgery for TN, and she was asking me about whether I would go for it, but I was explaining that one, my pain levels subsided enough that I wasn't even referred to a neurologist in the UK, and secondly, the compression wasn't obvious for me, so I don't even know if I would be a surgery candidate. So yeah, you don't want to put it off because I'm still fairly fit now. Yes, I may not be able to avoid. No, that's right. I agree. And I was lucky that I started on 3 tablets and I could come down to 1. And I feel like I take that one before I go to bed. So yes, it mucks me up in the morning. But whereas in the early days I couldn't drive, I couldn't do anything because I was taking 3 tablets, and every time I took a tablet, I'd be wiped out afterward, which was great for my pain, but meant I couldn't do a lot. I feel like I've been able to reduce that medication, so my quality of life is better. Some people find they start off, but they have to keep increasing the medication and increasing it until they're just taking so much medication. And then for them, perhaps they start looking at surgery options, if you know what I mean. So people are so different. Yes, 3 tablets is still, I was on 3 tablets for, I'm going to say 6 months. And then I think I came down to 2 really slowly for a couple of months. I think I didn't reduce down to 1 until after about a year easily. And 3 tablets takes a massive hit. Like it really does, doesn't it? It really does kind of mean you can do a lot less. I mean, I wouldn't go out at all when I first had it. I wouldn't do anything. I didn't feel safe. I didn't feel in control of the pain, and I didn't feel in control of my body either. Whenever I used to make a video, I used to have to plan it to the hilt to make a video. And I only started the Trigeminal Neuralgia channel because I just couldn't find anything about living with it so much. There were a few stories on there. So I really wanted to do it, but it was a real challenge, and I could never have gone live, that's for certain, because the tablets just made me feel so sort of spaced out. But on 1, I'm a lot better. So good luck anyway. So nobody else wants to chat to me, Nancy. So you just keep chatting to me. Keep chatting. If you find anything that you can do sort of like hobby-wise, because that really helped me. I didn't think it was going to in the beginning because I couldn't concentrate on it. But after a while it did kind of really help to have something to do. Because yeah, as I said, I wasn't working when I got this. I'd already given up work, so I could find things to do. I don't know if you're working or not. You might not be. Right, okay. Now, how are you getting on with that? Running a small business from home with pain? Probably not great, I would imagine. I mean, it's all right if you can dip in and out of it, I guess. So I'm into crafting quite a lot, but oh, okay. How are you getting on with it then? Are you going to have to keep going, or can you concentrate on that? I literally couldn't focus on anything at all. Nothing. I started doing this decorative planning thing. I'm not doing that now. I'm doing more stuff, but I'm trying to see what that says there, because there's little heart things in the way. Can't really see. It's relieved it. Not completely, I think it says there. Sorry, there's a little heart emoji in the way, so I can't really see. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you found the channel anyway. That's helpful. So if you just popped onto the chat, all I'm doing is questions and answers. I'm not medical in any way, just chatting to Nancy in the chat, because she's had this for about only a month. She's on medication and she's going to a neurologist soon to chat about surgery. So that's what we've been talking about. But yeah, just introduce yourself in the chat. Don't be shy. Let me know you're here. Because what I'm hoping to do is build up a community for trigeminal neuralgia sufferers, all those with hidden disabilities, chronic pain, that type of thing. and we can just chat. It's not a medical channel at all. It's about living with chronic pain and specifically trigeminal neuralgia, but a lot of what we talk about on the channel is pretty relevant, to be honest, for anybody who struggles with chronic pain, especially conditions people don't know a lot about. So introduce yourself, let me know who you are, and then over time, I haven't felt like I could do this before because I wouldn't have been well enough to do this before. I will try to do regular lives. Okay, they may not be the same time every day. Not every day, gosh, not every day. They may not be the same time. Okay, I may not be able to do that, but I'll try and give some warning, and we'll try and build up a community that supports each other, not by telling each other what to do, not by giving medical advice, but just being there to be understanding. That's what we're thinking. That's what I'm thinking we should do, if we can. So if you are here, just introduce yourself, or just give it a little brief moment to see if anybody else wants to pop into the chat and say hi, or just say hi anyway. Maybe you have no clue who I am and what I'm doing here anyway, but that's fine too. I have a parents' evening tonight for one of my sons. That is going to be fun, because I don't think it's all going to be good news. No, I don't. So it looks like it's only you, Nancy, who's brave enough to chat to me here. So you're on 3 tablets. You'd probably be on that for a while, wouldn't you? I wonder what the lead-in time is for you in the USA. Like if we were not paying for, because in our country you've got the NHS, which gives you free treatment. You can go private for oh good, I'm glad they've helped. Yeah, it's just going to be you, isn't it? 2 months, sorry, you've had it for 2 months. In our country then, you don't pay, but you wait, okay? So if I wanted a surgeon that was going to do brain surgery for me, I would need a specific surgeon. It may not even be local to me because where we live in the country. So we would just wait until that waiting list came round, unless we paid for it. But then we'd need to find that surgeon. Okay, so if we paid for it, we wouldn't wait for very long, but we'd have to find the surgeon. So maybe we would wait for 3 months for it. If we're on the NHS, we could wait a year for it. So I don't know what your waiting time would be. If you said yes to him on Friday, how long would you wait to go and have it done? This is where the main benefit of being on like a private healthcare plan, I think, isn't it? That you can get to who you want to get to and it's paid for. I don't know, but when you have something seriously wrong over here, then you will get looked after. But yeah, only depend on his schedule. So it could be within a few months then. So things could be looking up for you, but then you're going to have to really look after yourself afterward, aren't you? I mean, I don't know what the recovery time would be for that, but I'm guessing a few months to actually recover enough. So I'm guessing work would have to slow down. I don't know what you would do about that, but yeah, I'm guessing a few months at least. There is a lady that is on YouTube. Yeah, sounds like about 3 months recovery. Yeah. There is a lady on YouTube that was doing a crafting channel and then had TN, and then she eventually went for surgery. I think it's called Purple Cottage Craft, something like that. And she mixed her TN videos in with her crafting channel. So hers is quite an interesting journey. But she had it quite a while before she went for surgery, I think. I'm gonna say that if we don't get anybody else chatting, I probably will go. But you know, it's been nice to see you, Nancy. Maybe every time I go on, it'll just be you and me. But then, if you're in recovery, I don't think so. My business slows down to nearly nothing after April. Okay, I could take the summer to recover. That would be amazing. Hopefully, you've got someone to look after you, because I think you would need someone around, wouldn't you, to look after you? Yes, I've seen her videos too. Good. Yeah. yeah, she did have a tough journey though. It's quite off-putting to start with, but then when you see her recovery, having had the surgery, and how much better she looks and sounds afterward, that's very uplifting, I think. Yes, plenty of folks to help me. Good. That is good. Yeah, I've struggled. I've got 5 adult children, but we've got 2 adopted sons. So when I was very poorly with the pain, I really struggled because I just wanted to rest and just be still a lot of the time. And they're teenagers, and one of them, spouts off a lot and gets really angry and things. And I found that tough. And I also found it tough because they would go out on day trips, and I just wasn't well enough to go. And I used to think that that would be my life. I could never see me doing anything, but I have managed to do quite a lot, considering, managed to go on holidays and stuff like that. So things have improved for me, thankfully. And I look back on some of my videos when I was really poorly, and it's a reminder to me of what I've been through. So in some ways, my channel has been a record of my own recovery and how well I'm doing on a day when I don't think I'm doing well. And I look at how poorly I was. It's kind of like refreshing to be able to see that journey. Yes. On the first video I made, I cried, didn't I? I cried because it's like, I just couldn't see a way of ever being there for the family again. And I've got a huge family. I've now got another grandson on the way. So I've got 3 grandsons, another one on the way. And I don't love the hecticness of that, but I love the kind of bonding with my daughters and my son. And I love that interaction with my family. And I just couldn't do it. And sometimes I'd be sat there of an evening and, maybe 2 of them would come round. One of the couples would come round and we'd normally play games and that. I'd just be sat there staring. And then one of them would say, "You're not feeling very good, are you?" I'm like, "I'm not feeling very good. I need to go back upstairs." And it used to really, really get to me. It really did. It's an amazing record of your journey. It is. Sometimes, though, I've got to be honest, I know people are in a lot worse way than I am. So sometimes I feel like on the channel now, I'm almost doing too well for some people to identify with me because they're in so much pain. I'm sort of very stable at the minute, albeit the last 2 days, not today so much, last couple of days, I have had a little bit of a flicker of a flare up. It's just a reminder that it's still there. But sometimes I feel people do want to see, not that you're in pain, but that you're struggling, whereas I'm not struggling as much, So sometimes I feel like I'm too far forward in the journey to help some people, right? So yeah, sometimes I feel that. But I'll keep going with the channel as long as I've got something to say, and as long as my journey is still happening and there's bumps in the road, I'll keep going as long as I feel I can share stuff. I get that, especially because the speed of diagnosis in my case. Yeah, that's right. That's true. Yeah. I mean, I get a lot of medical questions which I can't answer, and I get a lot of people giving me medical advice as well, which is frustrating because there are so many different aspects of TN and so many different people have their own opinion, but I can't comment on what would work for them. I can only comment on what works for me. So, yes. Well, Nancy, it's been lovely to chat to you. I know different people have been in and out. They'll be able to watch the video back, so they'll be able to see the conversation we've had, and that might definitely be helpful for some people. But I'll try and do it again. I mean, I'm not going to promise within a week, but try and do it again, and hopefully that's all right. Just me and you across the world. Nice, isn't it? USA to the UK. I'm sure people will catch on that lives are going to happen, but probably I'd have to do them later in the day, probably my evening, to get, because people are all over the world, but USA is obviously a strong following. So I'll probably have to do it in the evening, my end, to catch people kind of during the day in the USA, I expect. Yeah, see you next time, Nancy. Good luck with everything. Lovely to speak to you. Bye.